She's very sad.
It's the if I could turn back time.
I know that's what I have to say. If I could turn back time.
Is that Will and Grace?
It was the best show, first of all.
My gosh.
One of the best shows ever.
Funny. And he's like, no.
Yeah, he's like, no. That's not what she
It's more time.
Time.
Oh. Well,
sorry.
I figured spring cleaning, we're reassessing goals. Some of us
I love it. And
we could go back.
I have to spring clean. My room is a mess. Still a mess from Transform.
Your room is a mess? Is that what you said?
Yeah, my room was a mess before.
I thought you said my roots were a mess.
Because I fully I don't even care.
That is the style, though. We're back to the Madonna 1984 dark roots, blonde hair.
That's what was weird when the ladies that are doing my hair, and I was like, ooh, I don't know. And all my friends were like, oh, and all the young people were like, I like your hair. I was like,
it is
the trend.
It is. You are on trend naturally.
Well, right. Because
now we should probably tell everybody because we both sound a little.
Listen. I'm on the Sudafed.
Ooh.
That's
actually
serious.
Sudafed's not bad.
No, well, I went to the doctor, as one does.
Yes.
You know, and they were like, "There's nothing wrong with you. Don't have an ear infection." I was like, "My ear hurts really bad. My throat hurts, and I don't know what it is."
It's because you're so congested, right? Because it's pushing on your ear.
Well, she said, your ear looks beautiful. And I was like, well.
Yeah, thank you.
Shiny, right? Like, I don't know. So she's like, it looks fine, but take a Sudafed. And I'm like, I'm not really sure. And I tell Todd, I'm like, she said, take a Sudafed. Like, I mean, I don't know. You know, we're at that age where we think we're part doctor. I'm like,
fully.
Do you know Sudafed's like a controlled, like Class C, like
100%
hard and go behind the thing. And we were, the other part is like we were in Dallas because we went to a little like amazing race party. And so I was like in the middle of downtown Dallas thinking I'm going to get jacked at any second. Cause I'm like, why is it taking him so long? The sun is setting. Like, I'm like, he's lost in there. No, he had to go get like the security to go to the back to go get
You need like the pharmacy tech to get it.
Yeah. It's like serious.
Well, because people buy them, crush them up. Somebody listening can help me with the rest because I'm not going to get it all right. But like you can crush it and mix it with something else. And then it's like you put it in like crack. You heat it up and it's a whole thing. Sudafed. When I was in college, that was what they gave for every malady that you had. When you went to the infirmary in college, they gave us Sudafed and liquid Benadryl for everything. I broke my toe.
Go to bed.
I'm not exaggerating. I broke my toe.
Shut up.
And I had I needed the gauze thing, like I had a Band-Aid, but I needed the gauze. They gave me the gauze and Sudafed and liquid Benadryl.
What ragtag college were you at? Clown college?
This nurse, hold on. Nurse, she just get to everyone. And let me tell you, one of the best sleeps I've ever had in
I
my
was supposed to
life.
say, and your toe felt amazingly
My
better.
toe felt amazing because I took 4 Sudafed and washed them down with liquid Benadryl. I slept for 18 hours. I was like, my roommate kept putting his hand on my chest to make sure I was still breathing.
Ah!
I was gone.
I listen.
Gone.
It was very serious. And I'm just like exhausted this morning. I'm fully exhausted, but it does
Well,
feel a little better.
it's
And they're saying
transformitis.
it's not sick. We're not sick. We just have a little pressure. I think it's Vegas as a whole.
Vegas is a cesspool of germ. I
It's a
know.
cesspool of germs and dirt because last week they had all those wind things, like wind
That is
gusts.
true. Yeah, not win the casino, wind gust.
No, yeah,
Yes, yes.
wind at the
The
wind.
win was
But
lovely.
the wind is beautiful.
We
It's a
had a
lovely.
lovely time there.
I got home and
Lovely time.
tried to convince why I had an extra bag and did a little version of our swag party. And I
First of all, Joe, I want to just say good morning to you. I was desperately looking for you last week in Vegas. I thought you were going to be there. We're not.
yeah,
Now,
dude, you never come to the
you
things.
don't come to anything. Mad Dog 50/50 and a tube. My friend, you got some stories. We need to meet
You've
you.
got some explaining to do, Lucy. And a tube.
And a tube. Lord.
That sounds good.
I will buy you a bourbon, my friend, and meet you in the lobby bar.
And
Let's go.
I'll take all the pictures. And I also need you to know.
That's it. Nicole knew. Here, good morning,
Clutch
Nicole.
my
She
pearl.
knew. This is why. I couldn't think of the name of it. This
Listen.
is pseudoephedrine. Pseudoephedrine
Pseudoephedrine.
in pseudoephedrine to make crystal meth. What I tell you, I knew it was something. You mixed it and you like did it like crack. Thank you, Nicole. I knew
it was something like crack. We are, yeah. But look at who's on the cover of AARP magazine.
I just brought it into the office this morning.
Did you just get it? And why are we the same person? Because first of all,
I saw it yesterday and I was like,
we're paying active members of the AARP. That's just funny by itself.
we need to be on the cover. Y'all, let's start a petition.
Let's start the campaign.
I mean, it is outrageous that Rob Lowe is on the cover of AARP.
Outrageous.
Just take me out back and shoot me. I'm old yeller. Just be done.
Turn me into glue. The fact that you would say that shows how old you are because they don't do that. First of all, they haven't used a horse for glue since 1887. Like
you don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
Second of all, I will take you out back and rid me of my misery.
I mean, I'm telling you, Kathy was like, "What are you worried?" Because as soon as I walked in, and she had brought the mail in, but was just like in a pile right by the door, and I just was going through it. Stupid magazine is the last thing, and I'm like, "Oh!"
I went down. I died. I literally died when a member of the Brat Pack is on the cover of the.
But here's the other thing that's annoying. It's yes, the age thing, but my man looks good.
My man, he looks so good. Have you seen him on Instagram? And his kids are like,
his one son is acting much more as well. His one son, but
I can't imagine.
My man looks good, and I don't think that's all airbrushed. Genuinely,
I don't either. I mean, they're tricking him, and it also goes to show you how they like the things that they have, how they represent people that are over the age of 50 is wild and ridiculous. This is not realistic. This is not an adequate picture.
Oh, what? For term life insurance? Listen, let me tell you something. Nobody's hiking with backpacks like that.
No, absolutely not.
Nobody does that anymore. That's so 2003. Get out of here.
Yeah, nobody's doing that. No one's doing that. I saw they were burying some I saw somebody looking and burying things for like a time capsule, and it was rollerblades. It was like a little meme, and it had all these rollerblades putting them in the ground.
I broke my tailbone, I'm pretty sure, rollerblading. And so it was because we never really figured out why or how I broke my tailbone, but I did, and I never did anything about it and let it heal. And so,
That's why you
I,
dances like that.
who's like that?
That's why you dance like that.
First of all, stop looking at my rear end when I'm dancing. I tell you this every single time. The but the truth of the matter is, like, I went and got manipulated, right? And spinal manipulation. Thank
You're
you.
easily manipulated.
And my buddy, who's a doctor, he was like, "When'd you break your tailbone?" I was like, "I broke my tailbone." He's like, "Dude, the end of your spine is not supposed to be like this." And I was like, "Oh well, I only have really like only put my hands on one other person's end of their
Yeah.
spine that I could think of that I would even compare, but it's broken. I broke it and it healed in a certain way." And he was like, "Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it now." I'm like, "Well, maybe I'll grow a tail. That would be really cool.
A tail feather, just the feathers.
Shake my tail feather would
Yeah.
be amazing." Mandy, by the way, I popped it up here for two reasons. One, I'm so sorry you've been. If you went to Transform last week, I've heard from quite a few people who have said some ick came back with me.
But you haven't heard of any of the Rona, just sick.
No, I took the test. I had Dr.
Yeah,
Frank.
because I was like, because I don't even know what this
Assisted.
is anymore. Literally, I don't know that I'm sick anymore unless I start feeling like sleeping longer, and then it's like, oh, well, maybe you're sick. Because I'm
Tell
like,
me what is butter tea though, Mandy? Do you what it, do, are you did
what's
you
butter
drink?
tea?
I don't know what butter tea is. I'm very curious.
Isn't that from
Is that like butter rum in
That's
your
what I was about
tea?
to say, or isn't it like that?
Oh, hot toddy. Somebody make me that.
That's when you have. It's when you're sick. You don't just get a hot top. Well, I guess
I
you can do whatever
I
you
mean,
want
you
to
can do
do.
whatever you want. Was there some law? Somebody's gonna come arrest me if I make a hot toddy when I'm feeling well? Come on.
I'm always just looking for a reason.
I don't know, Joe. I want to see someone rolling up their short legs, showing me their scar from their hip replacement. Joe, there's a lot happening in your mind. I really am fascinated by it. I need,
You can come to the next conference.
I need you to come. Joe invited us to Zoom. First of all, Joe, we would love to come to the Zoom conference. I know it was early in March. Maybe you could put a word in for keynote. But First Coffee keynote. Just saying, could be.
It's a twofer.
Yeah, and it is Vegas. It's because I think it's like an oven. Just all of the germs stay insulated and then go on a road trip with all of us back to where we came from.
I think everybody would love that.
It's exactly what it is. Somebody's calling the toddy police on me.
LinkedIn user.
I mean, it's this Restream thing.
Is Jamie here?
Jamie is not here. I don't think Jamie's here, so we can talk about him.
Yeah, we were gonna make for our shirt. We were gonna make a LinkedIn user shirt because we think it's so funny that everybody, so that everyone can wear. When we go to conferences, we'll all have our shirt, and when we go, our name badge needs to say LinkedIn user.
Listen, and this is why George the Rock is my spirit animal. Look at what my man is saying. It's always good for the body. Come on,
I was literally gonna slap him just because of the rhyming. Just stop. Hot toddy's good for the body. Shut up.
Ooh, it's like that. What was that song from The Real Housewives of Atlanta? That what's her face? Late for the party. What the heck is her? That.
Oh yeah. I know who you're. Yeah.
Kim.
Yeah.
Kim with the wigs. Kim with the wigs.
There's one of those Real Housewives that are like
fix your wig
on eBay, by the way. Because she said she's like, look at her face, and she's like, I have not had any fillers. Nobody's ever done anything. Her face is literally doing a thing. It's doing a
disintegrating thing. What is that finger
all
movement?
of the fillers. She said, but they're saying it's from the stuff that's in the fillers,
Ay. I must say though, I do miss a good Nene once in a while. I mean, Nene was always good for the soul. Got me laughing. That's for sure. When she would be like,
we had a great week last week though.
We had a fantastic week. So much good follow-up feedback. People have been very kind to us. Thank you. For those who were
probably
in Vegas,
mostly kind to John, because John is just
the boxes that have been sent here. It's ridiculous. I knew that was
maybe it's just doesn't get here.
I do want to say this actually now that this book, Nearbound, and the Rise of the Who Economy showed up for me Thank you. I don't know who sent it to me. I
Listen.
don't know if Jared Fuller
You
himself
tell
sent it.
Jared Fuller if he really wants to have impact.
I am
well, then you have
super
to read it and
excited.
tell me what it's
Someone
about.
mentioned this to me. I know somewhere in the recesses of my brain, someone mentioned to me, because I remember the rise of the WHO economy. I don't know who said it. So if you're listening and you're the blessing who sent this to me, thank you so much. It was received. No anything, but thank you so much. I will read it.
The Who's in Whoville.
Yes, it is all
Did you read
about
it yet?
Cindy Lou Who. That's what I read on the back cover.
Cindy Lou Who. That's right. That's right.
Oh,
Also,
Rhoda, look. Good morning.
Rona. I met Rona, and Rona was like, "We've never met before," and I'm like, "Literally, Rona, I've known you for so long. We haven't."
There's no way, because
I'm
no
not
one
doing
forgets you after they meet you.
no. She's like, "We have." It was that was a. I was like, "I swear we've met." It's like, no, I like listen to your stuff, and I
Yes,
watch your podcast, and I see. I felt like I've already
tardy
known
for
you.
the party. See, this is why we're glad she's here. Don't miss an episode again, because we need to make sure you're here, because these pop culture references, I'm like Rob Lowe. I'm just good for a picture on a front cover. I can't remember anything.
Because real life is so like, sometimes it's like meh. And so that's where we're at. We're at reality television because to escape.
The
Escapism.
Transform swag report. People love that swag report. Right?
I know.
The amount of comments. Holy cow.
Love
We're so
the swag
happy.
report. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. It was fun to do, but there was great swag too, though.
I had two people separately send me notes through LinkedIn and just say, I laughed from beginning to end the entire episode. Like, that makes me so happy, because
Right.
like, really,
we laugh. We're not really sure. We're not a good measure of what's actually funny.
Just randomly bringing people in, and just, like, it was such a free for all, but so fun. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of it.
And thank you to everyone who accepted me. I know John is always like,
"Are you ridiculous?"
Can't get rid of her.
Accepted
Like,
you.
Jackie. They're
You were
like, oh
selling
God, Jackie's here. That
Amazing
means,
Race autographs, $20 a pop. Who are you kidding?
hey, spring cleaning, it got to my bank early.
That's why we're doing spring cleaning on goals, because your accountant was like, girl.
Right. How old are you? AARP magazine? You got some work to do.
Get out there. Shake it. Come on.
It's like, don't shake it.
You know it's our new theme song.
You can't afford the copay.
Here's your one chance, fancy. Don't let me down.
Goes down, go downtown. Sing it, Reba.
That song is an absolute travesty of humanity.
But
it is a banger every time it's on.
The best. Yeah. Fancy. Get your ass out there.
Send your underage daughter out there. Go.
Mama needs a new bag of shoes.
There's 1,000 things wrong with that song from a criminal justice system perspective, like all kinds of things. It's a banger. It's a great song.
It's a full banger.
How are your 2025 goals going now that Q1 is sniffing the end of it is on Monday?
I've redone, like, literally, I feel late. I was tardy to the party.
Nice. I see what you did there.
Really looking at the gig economy, and me and Nicole were talking about this yesterday, actually. Hello, Nicole. About all these other things, doing other things to have different levels of income, especially given all of the uncertainty going into 2025. I mean, there's just things, and it's not picking on any one person or any one thing. It's just, there is a lot of uncertain. We're seeing things we've never seen before within the industry, what's becoming popular with the evolution of AI and how people are using it. We're finding new things every single day. And so we were talking about this. So that's one of the goals, is to have multiple income streams to be prepared, because it is so unclear. This is not like those, we haven't been able to trace exactly what's going on. What,
Yeah.
you agree?
It's it's one of these things where I think people are nervous and excited, right?
Cautious.
Concurrently, though, because you think of things, again, coming back to Transform last week, everybody and their mother had to say AI at least 3 times in every, right? In 4 sentences, you must say AI 3 times. And even if it had nothing to do with what you were talking about. Oh my gosh, that toast AI is amazing. It's like, you know,
Right. They're like, did you want butter? They're like, AI. And I would like
I want my AI
it was
over easy with a side of bacon. Like you just had to keep saying it, right? And it is exciting and scary. And I think it's exciting when we talk about like preparation. How should we position
We're
ourselves?
on the edge of some great
We're
stuff.
we're
Like,
in
you
it.
know,
I'm just absolutely like we're here right now watching this evolution that, quite frankly, it's an evolution like nothing we've ever seen before. OpenAI, I think the numbers were released this morning. Somebody can correct me. I'm closing my eyes because I'm looking at the screen in my head. I think it's 40 billion now that it has raised so far, OpenAI. George, if you're still here, double check me on that.
that is
40
disgustingly
billion on that.
amazing.
Right.
I mean, and let me tell you why you should be terrified. I have purchased my OpenAI API to go with the app that I built for a planning,
Time out.
like a planner.
Can you say that again 3 times fast? Go ahead.
Probably not. But
OpenAI API.
So that API is like the bridge to allow me to use the technology from like a ChatGPT technology in one of my own products that I created. Like the fact that I was able to create a product and then to know how to do that. And that means like my small, like whatever, $2 is part of that
First
$1
of
billion.
all, I want my $2. Better Off Dead. Great, one of the greatest movies ever made. Everyone must watch it this weekend. Better Off Dead.
If you say anything when I swallow, you saw it.
I time it on purpose. It's funny because I read an article this week. Jonathan Kesselbaum posted about API and was saying almost stop telling me you have open API. Who doesn't? Right? Like that can't.
Listen, people are very excited. Also, Jonathan Kessel, every time I saw, have you noticed if anybody watches Severance that he kind of looks like Kier, like that? Have you noticed?
He was having such a good time at Transform last week. I was so glad to hang out with him.
Every time I saw, I was like, I wanted to sneak over, but he was always deep in conversation. But he reminds me of the guy from the
was, but I'm telling you, he's another one. Right, keep your eye on him. Telling you.
Always, you always keep your eye on him, and he always pops up, and he has
on the side, right? That's where we live. We live in the shadows.
Because he's the one who's like, I think I'm moving to Nashville, and you're like, what? Like,
right. Well, and you're like, why would you leave Chicago? And he's like, oh, I've been in Miami for 13 months, and you're like,
right. He's the EF.
Oh my gosh. What are you yelling at me for about references? No one knows who EF Hutton is anymore. What are you talking about? Oh, you froze. Waco Wi-Fi is the worst. It's the worst. Oh, first of all, Mandy, thank you so much. Mandy, vanilla and mint herbal tea. See, why is it called a butter tea then, though? I don't understand. George, thank you, my friend. Thank you. I knew you would know. They're about to close a round to bring the total to 40 billion. The current total is 21.9. Thank you, George. I knew George would have it together for me. Look at that. They're closing a round to bring it to $40 billion. That's crazy. Like, holy cow.
Yeah, but did you see back here? Look, I came back, I refreshed, and look. Butter tea is vanilla and mint.
That's what you missed that one. I don't understand why it's called butter then, though. Vanilla and mint.
When you like butter chicken, ain't no butter in that chicken.
I thought it was butterscotch, maybe. That's what I thought.
Love butterscotch.
I mean, you are absolutely
I
AARP.
am fully I put it in a little napkin. I only suck on it and then I put it in a tissue
Have
and
you
put it
been watching? I got to watch the last two episodes. Have you been watching the new Matlock with Kathy Bates?
No,
Oh,
do you love it?
you have to watch it.
On CBS?
Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus too. You could just, it's
Well,
all
let me tell
street.
you,
You could do it all.
flip. This is like just to get off topic because we're so on topic.
We've been
CBS.
doing really well. Come on.
I was talking about people. You have this whole world talking about the fight on diversity and blah 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 blah. David, no, he's here.
David's here. I love him. George, look at this. This is the expected valuation of Open API, 300 billion. Okay, come back. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it, George. Thank you. Go ahead. CBS, do your thing.
CBS. When people are talking about like diversity and how it's horrible, horrible, horrible. But you look at the shows on CBS, you look at The Equalizer, you look at the new Morris Chestnut. I don't even know, like show.
Watson, how many times are we going to do Sherlock Holmes? Come on.
Really, seriously, just say it. Just call it something different. Like, I don't know, Sherlock's cousin. But there's so many shows on CBS that are so inclusive and it's been so fun to watch. I was loving, like, because again, Amazing Racers at an Asian team today. They call themselves the Asian. They have a different phrase. I forgot it. Then there's another team from the Amazing Race. They're Asian. They come in there and you see all these people, all of this community, and it's been so much fun to watch. But I'm sorry, I threw that in there because
you have to. I think you're required to talk about
contractually. I have to talk about CBS as a member of the CBS family in order to be able to have that ticket.
Mama's got to buy her butter tea. Mama's got to buy that.
Mama's got to buy her tent to go explore the wild.
Who is setting up a tent with rope?
Nobody. First of all. Second of all, they fired everybody who works at the state parks. Nobody can get in. So stop it. The lies.
Stop it. It is. Ooh, Joe, I just saw it last night. I'm so glad you brought it up. I just saw the promo for it and told Kathy we need to start watching it.
Really?
It was on Netflix, Joe, I think.
Is it on Netflix?
I think it's Netflix. We finished watching A Man in Full.
Really?
I mean, it was kind of just like weird, disturbing. It paints Atlanta in a particular light. So it's only 6 episodes. Six episodes, I think.
Can you just time it? Like, tell Kathy to call me. I don't trust you to call me and tell me when things are going on. I want to know. Tell Kathy I'm going to call so we can get this schedule together because it'll be helpful. First of all,
yeah. Amen, George. The bugs are still getting in that tent. Bugs don't give anything about that rope light you have on the front of that. It's like all these she shed things. Have you been out to a she shed 6 months after you build it? Termites.
Her shed.
Termites. Listen, but I want to come back to this spring cleaning thing because when you look at what George, which we love George. Thank you so much for being here. When you look at just this one tool of OpenAI, and you think about how is it that I'm positioning some of the objectives that I had for my 1 year, 2 year plan, whatever you thought it was going to be, pace of change that has infiltrated, quite honestly, the world.
You have to embarrass yourself at your evaluation this year when you say, oh, I'm going to have a spreadsheet. They'll be like, bitch, if you could just click these 2 buttons, it's done. The whole project you've been working on for 4 years, done.
It's and Bill Gates and was it Bezos? No, I forget. It was somebody else. Oh, Tim Cook, I think, saying the amount of development work that is going to be taken over by various AI agents that from a coding standpoint and some of the other basic development. Again, I don't want to I'm out over my skis a little bit. That's not my area of expertise.
That's okay.
But just the idea of the amount of those jobs that are going to be gone in the next 36 months, get ready, everybody.
But guess what's coming up? Talking about spring cleaning, dust off your nuclear power plants because you have to go nuclear in order to do it. We're not even talking about that.
The two jobs that are going to see the most traction this year, industry wise, we're medical. Don't y'all get back to the medical thing. Nurse practitioner,
That's right.
right? Physician's assistant. You don't have to do the full doctor thing, right?
No.
Like even CNAs, like
Yeah,
all levels of medical support. A, and then B, wind energy, wind turbine
that's right.
machinists. We are in desperate need of them
Right.
in pockets of this country. Truly, I'm not just being facetious. Truly, we're not teaching people how to do this, and we need wind turbine machinists for the energy that's needed to do all of this stuff.
Look what LinkedIn user said.
Who is LinkedIn user? Please
Hi,
identify
LinkedIn. I'll
yourself.
tell you who LinkedIn. Hi, LinkedIn. Oh, Nancy. It's Nancy's first time watching our live.
Oh, Nancy, we're so glad you're here. Thank you so much. 18 months ago, 25% of coding at Google was being done by AI. 18 months ago,
Ago.
ago. The fact that it is
Ah,
moving this much. So you've got to look at your.
Eric Knopf is today's LinkedIn user.
We love you, Eric. So
We
good
love
to
you,
see
Eric. LinkedIn user.
you. If you're pulling out those goals that you put in place for 2025, I know it's only 90 days in. Which ones do you need to scrap completely? Because rather than put
Completely.
energy, right? Because you might say, well, I said I was going to do this.
You can't do it. The thing that's scary is you can't do it better. Like you're not gonna like. It's
Uh,
not like a choice. It's not a preference. Like you just can't.
it is, some of our self-esteem is going to get wrapped into
Yeah.
this,
But I
right?
mean, yeah.
We have to own that.
But
I
you
think
have to be a
identify it.
part of this. I mean,
Yeah.
and be excited. I was able to set up Todd's business this weekend in 2 days. 2 days from
Is this the
LLC.
OnlyFans thing? What's he doing?
Yeah, yes, OnlyFans ceiling fans, only ceiling fans. I didn't realize that OnlyFans was already a thing. So only ceiling fans. Literally, are you sitting by one of like, where are you? And you're at your mom's house? Is that one of those TVs that
No, I am. This
VCR?
is I've sometimes if I feel like watching High
Is
School
that where
Musical,
you're
I
like
have it playing in the
Wendy's
background.
training? Pop
This
in the
is
VCR tape for training on the
no.
like.
Although it's an older version. I mean, look, this is technology. I can't. The television still works. It's all great. It has HDMI. It has all the things,
It's a square,
and
and
it's just
people will
and
like,
people are like, "What are you doing with
"What are
that?"
you doing? You don't
I
even know
know.
how to use those."
I know. First of all, I never would have put OnlyFans and ceiling fans together. That was absolutely brilliant. I mean, you've got to get that domain.
I
Only
tried to
ceiling
click on
fans.
the. I was clicking on Nancy's actually thing.
Onlyceilingfans.com. You better
I
get that
know.
domain quick.
Please don't. Please.
Joe, go take care of that for her. Secure
Yeah.
that domain.
Yes. Joe, you are a producer fill in when Jamie's not here. So if you could
Jamie's doing a
his
implementation,
job,
I think, for about 1,500 employees today. So first payroll. Um,
but first payroll,
with our team, by the way, in case that
not math.
terrifies anybody, he's not the HR expert. He's on the tech. Just listen to me. He's on the
Just
tech side, but overseeing it. But yeah, 1,500 employees getting paid. So come on, let's do it.
I do want to read. I do want to read this. This looks like fun, y'all. They had. I'm looking at the Rhode Island Computer Museum.
Because Nancy said she went to the Rhode Island Computer Museum.
They had a thing called Make Code Games last week, ages 10 to 100. But these places are out there. Get out there and learn this stuff because it is going so fast.
I just want to say, Eric is so right. I loved a good overhead projector, right, with the transparencies.
That's what
Loved it because I
teachers
taught
can't do
math
that
for a minute.
anymore. They don't write like that. Their hands would like.
I would do live. I taught my first 2 years out of college. I did HR at night and I training at night, and I was doing sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. I taught in Camden, New Jersey, and for the eighth graders, I also taught math, and so was doing pre-algebra. And I would use the overhead projector with the transparency and walk through equations. and do them live with them, right? So concurrent, they're going through it. And we're like with my transparency marker, and and then wipe it
No.
all off and do it again. I mean, yeah.
I
Love
remember in
that.
2010, I went to a training it was a college, and the person was writing on the wall and doing the stuff with the marker. And then it wasn't one of those. It was like, it wasn't the dry erase, because every one of them in these buildings are like that,
Joe,
Screenshot that.
I just love Joe
You
so much.
screenshot to get
Yeah.
that.
Joe, I just want to tell you something. So Jamie is, 12 shades of red whenever this comes up, just so you know.
And we love that.
I absolutely like Jackie's coffee cup from Starbucks today, shade of red for Jamie. Can't, so the fact that you have recognized him for the bear that he is, I think is brilliant. His longtime girlfriend also loves that you refer to him as
That's
this.
right.
And so she has jumped on Nicole to this bandwagon as well. So thank you for that.
Look at this.
We're figuring something out.
Nancy said, just Cub Scouts teletype. I mean, freaking John's nudes are on microfiche. If you want to see
Microfiche.
John's,
And it's better if they're on microfiche because you can spin through them quicker at the library.
his
At
nudes
least
are
less
microfiche.
Oh
I've
my
been waiting to say
gosh.
that for like 5
Look,
years.
I love you. Mark is here this morning. Right, George. I had that spirit machine too to run off copies. Come on. This, and we laugh about this now, right? Because we're like, oh, these are the old people, blah, blah. You won't even be able to enjoy it. People use that spirit machine, for instance, for like years,
Right.
maybe even decades. The pace of change with
There's people that
technology.
still use mimeograph. There's at every like school board or school district, they will bust one out.
Frank, I had to pour the spirit liquid in
Yeah, yeah.
with the blue paper
Did
and
you do that head? Did you?
turn. But it was where we are. My kids don't have an appreciation of you used something for a long time before the next iteration of technology
Get
came
it
along.
out because it's too fast. Like that's the spring cleaning. Get it out. Don't even turn around. When you're going out today and you're doing your job, ask yourself, just know there's a better way, I promise. And don't
100%.
Google it. Use one of these, use Claude, use Grok, use one of these to ask and figure it out because there are better ways of doing this.
Is there a way to like excommunicate people from the show if we don't want to have them participate?
Kyra. Tell them what it is and then tell them to get out. Listen, if they don't know who Rob Lowe is,
out.
Get off my. Listen.
Well, it's funny that you're saying this. I said yesterday, I don't know if you saw this announcement. For those who don't know, Only Murders in the Building is like, I just adore that show. Like I want to be on that show. I think I'd crush it as an actor on that show. It would be super fun. I knew season 5 was already filming. They just released the name of one of the stars that's coming on this year, and Renee Zellweger is joining the cast for this year. Right,
I love her.
Love her. Frankie. Who's that? And I'm like counting years. I'm like, yeah, he really wouldn't. I mean, he's not. He didn't watch Chicago. He's not going to know. He didn't do Jerry Maguire. He's like,
oh no, that was her first movie, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, like, what's the word? Is it Cold Mountain?
But I was laughing. I told my sister yesterday that I'm gonna have a new podcast called "Get Off My Lawn" because Todd's doing the poop scoop business, and I was talking about the nitrate. So we were coming up with this stuff for the yard, and I was like, "Well, now we have to make sure our yard, is good, and we need to go." He hates me so much. I was like, "You have to go dethatch the yard this weekend." I found a thing on the Facebook Marketplace, a dethatcher, so we can go fix the yard. And I was like, "No, we'll do the thing." And I was like, "I'm going to start a new podcast called Get Off My Lawn," because I understand now, finally, at age 51.
But even that, there's so much, like, there's a lot of people in their 20s who are like, dethatch my lawn. What?
Yeah, they don't. That's the other part. Someone asked me, and I won't tell them who they are. They are a LinkedIn user
Yep.
that was like, why
Tim Sackett.
do I
Should
have
I
to
guess?
rake do I have to rake the leaves before or after the snow? And what difference does it make? Like if I didn't do it before the snow, do I have to do it after? Because it looks like they're all breaking down. And I was like,
Yeah. Okay. Here, or you
and then
could
like,
do,
you know, the people wonder why we have wildfires and all of this other stuff. Like
no. This is the TJ, sweet baby TJ,
they don't know, like
sweet Cassie school of cleanup. Listen, once the snow melts, I'm just going to take the lawnmower out and cut
right.
all those leaves anyway. That's how I'm going to do it.
Right. And I was like, there's no mulching, sweet baby TJ. We don't use it on mulch.
Yeah,
No, nope.
no.
Don't use
But they
the
look at you like, what? Why would it's not a great use of time? This
they think
whole
grass
idea,
just grows like that.
well, kind of does. The reality though is we as leaders in some of our organizations have to get really astute with those that are working within our organizations
Their
and the frame of
companies
reference
are
that they're coming
dethatching.
from, because we have companies that continue to like die on a pile about
That's right.
dethatching, and they have a segment of population that's like, you seem so irrelevant to me, I
Right.
need to start looking for my next place to go.
And have
I've
no
got to,
idea. Right.
because what you're speaking is gibberish. I
That's
don't, it doesn't mean anything to me. And
right.
then we do we got to teach these kids.
Right.
If our frame of reference for instruction, and this is happening more and more, if our frame of reference for instruction is on the backs of that perspective, that means instruction becomes punitive.
That's
I'm
right.
going to show you don't appreciate this.
And, well,
I'm
and you
going to
have to
tell you.
explain like it's a different language because when you tell somebody I have to dethatch my lawn, they're like, "Is that a mower? No. Is that a rake? No. It's a
No,
dethatcher."
right,
And you have to get in and get the stuff underneath, and then they can understand, oh, you're talking about, right?
right,
There's other ways, like the mimeograph or the microfiche or there's a version of it. There's an evolution of these things, but there are some things in nature in which there is no de-evolution. One of the problems with not dethatching your lawn or not understanding that is that before, for years on mainframe, we've had people that are still COBOL developers that everyone's wondering when they became irrelevant. In the last 5 years, they've become irrelevant
right.
because AI can do it better
It's
than they feel.
really hard though to spring clean,
Eliminate,
but
eliminate.
it's one thing to spring clean your goals, right? So if you're already 30 days in, I'm sorry, 90 days in, 3 months in, 90 days in, and you're looking at some of your goals and saying, um, I was over ambitious. I was under ambitious. The basis for metric on what I had put together already has shifted. We get that,
Right.
and you should take the time to spring clean that, update it.
That's right.
No one is sitting with you, slapping your hand, saying, "Well, you said 45%. You're going to reduce it to 40. I hope you feel good about yourself." Please let that go. Nobody is
Right.
doing that to you,
Right.
but when you're at the place for some of you where you're spring cleaning your career,
That's right.
that's a much different approach and it's a much different conversation. That feels more personal. It
It
feels
it
more
it
directional.
But the thing is that right now you have a choice. There was a time when it was like, how am I going to keep up? How am I? Now you have the choice to keep up. And if you aren't learning, that's the choice you made. That's a
Yeah.
personal choice you made. One of the best things that I've seen, there's a guy I follow. His name is Dan Coe. And I think the first time I talked to him, I was like, John, I'm following this 28-year-old guru. He knows everything, right? I'm
Yeah.
following this guy. And he said,
Dan Coe, wait a minute. KOCOE, just
AOE.
over KOE. Okay, everybody.
The thing that don't watch him for too long because I swear he's building a cult. We'll find out later. But look at selected
A
episodes.
lot of money in a cult.
The thing that he said was people are concerned about AI taking over everybody's jobs. And he was like, it's not taking over good people's jobs. If they were too lazy, they were like, people have had access to this type of technology for years. If they haven't done it before, they're not going to use it now. They're not going to get good at it now because they never took the time. That's the part. There is capabilities now that you have access to. And if you don't know these things, then that's a choice,
Yeah.
right? That's a choice. You have a PhD in your hand. There is
It,
no reason to not learn these things. And if you're not sure,
there
go into
is
one
a
of these
reason.
apps.
There is a reason. The reason is right. The reason
Well,
is
yes,
right.
yeah, go ahead.
But you've got to examine the reason. And I think that it's hard. You've got to have one or two people in your life who are going to tell you the truth, because I might say, I'm not doing it. The heck with this, blah, blah, blah. And I need someone in my life saying, tell me why you're really not doing it. I don't have time. Okay. I
All
got
right.
it. There's reality in I don't have time. Listen, if you're a young parent and you've got some, little kids, and you work and you're trying to keep up with the kids, and you're driving to daycare and grandma's house, and they're helping you to watch the kids, and you and your significant other are like both working full time, and your times don't overlap. I mean, don't line up. They just overlap a bit. Like it's a frenzied time. So you're going to have to get creative, like use that car time for listening to some instructional, right, material to help you learn some of these things. It is going to require you to be very creative in how you learn, because your life is just too frenzied, but you can't afford to be that far behind the eight ball. It's
I just
moving
put
way too quickly.
this thing that I
Oh,
put
is that
in
it?
the chat. The video learn anything
You are breaking up.
I did.
Here you come. Say it again. How to learn.
How
You're
to
back.
learn anything 10 times faster than anyone with AI. How to learn anything 10 times faster.
Yes. Hi, Zach. Good morning. This I just saw this as well. Um,
Yeah.
so right, the truth of the matter is, if you think, however, the only resource to take a look at right now is AI, you're also missing it.
Because you
Some
still
of
have
our
to detach the lawn.
You still
The
have to
lawn still, AI is not
although
going to help.
George is right. George is right. There are robot dethatchers and mowers,
Yes,
just
but
like
you have to know to look up. That's the part that people aren't getting. You can't,
yes.
it's not going to give it to you. Like it's not going to tell you the things. You have to learn, to this quote from Kareem, you have to learn how to use AI in order to find out. And which is, my husband is literally going to take away all the electronics, because I found out about the yard and he's really, really like, Jackie, stay off the grass. Because I mean, let's be honest, I didn't rake for very long before I realized we really need a dethatcher. And he's
That's it.
only 1/4, and he's like, "What are you gonna do with that?" I was like, "Look for a dethatcher. I'm not doing it."
My niece and her fiance were doing yard work this week, and sent pictures and stuff because their first home, and all very exciting. My man is doing all the work. She's taking pictures of him doing the work, and I said, what is the contribution that you are actually making to anything getting done out there?" She was like, I'm
Pictures.
just not very good at it.
Stop. Oh, you could be. I always used to say that. I used to bring lemonade, homemade lemonade, and it was just so good. That's how you get out of it. You learn how to make a really good homemade sweet tea. And then all he wants is the
Oh
sweet
my
tea. He
gosh.
only gets it when he does the yard. And then
Oh, that's a good idea.
I know.
No,
I know.
Kathy doesn't want any sweet
I'm
tea.
I know. I know. I know. That's okay.
Zero sweet tea from
If you
me.
come dethatch, I'll make you sweet tea, and me
I'll
and
come to
Kathy
your
have done
house
it
dethatch. I
silently.
don't dethatch my own house. I got no time
So
for that. But here's
now
the
we're making
thing.
a business where this is going to be
Now,
a thing.
only ceiling fans. The thing
Yes.
is, and I think the freedom here is one, there is freedom in your goals. They are not meant to be life sentences. If they have to evolve
Very
because resources or influences to those goals have evolved, then you have to evolve your goal. I have people saying, and I'm going to go off of AI for a second because I know we've talked a lot about that. I'm going to talk to the entrepreneur who
mm,
is saying, I'm going to build my business, and within 2 years, it'll get purchased.
purchase.
I'll make a fortune, and I'll have a golden parachute with them, golden handcuffs rather, with them for 2 years maybe, and then I get my money and I'm gone. Hi, Good morning.
Right.
That's not happening the same way anymore,
No,
right?
that's why
At all.
everyone's opening 5 businesses because which one's going to be taken over? I don't know.
I don't know. And I'm not going to, I mean, I have people who are putting valuations together. And I mean, and y'all, we're going to give a plug. If you don't watch George and on Work Tech, come
You have
on.
to.
You
You
have
have
to.
to.
But the amount of people who still are thinking this is like Shark Tank 1.0, you can't, it is
That's what's
not the
I'm
way
so
in which
glad you
it's
said
happening.
that. I'm going to start, and I started yesterday doing the recording part, taking from pre-demo to like first rollout on these tools because there's so much again that people are not cleaning out. They don't understand whether it's in the sales process, the customer service process, all of these different things that make businesses that people are completely missing that will take away from their ability to get a valuation to the point where they're
Yeah.
just become obsolete. Like nobody
Yes.
it
Yes.
was interesting because yesterday I sat with a guy, loved a very lovely gentleman who was showing me
Oh,
this tool
yesterday?
yesterday.
I sat with a lovely gentleman yesterday too. You do yours
Thank you.
first, then I'll do
So
mine. Yeah.
he was showing me how the tool was going to help. It was very similar to a seek out, but it wasn't seek out to help you pick candidates that are like the ones you've hired in the past. Now,
Yep.
for some of you, this might sound very familiar. For this person, it was cutting edge.
Cutting
He
edge.
was so excited to show me how I could hire people exactly like the people we've hired in the past and how we could find out those things so that we could go straight to the source of the people that we know are going to get hired at our organizations. And I said, interesting. Have you considered anything about whether we've been making the wrong hires for the last 10 years? And maybe we'd like to hire someone, I don't know, different.
Different. And he was like, your
Why would we do
Wi-Fi's
that?
going bad. I
Yeah,
can't hear
does
you.
not compute. Does not compute. And
Well,
these
and I
tools are coming out with nobody from HR, from nobody in this because
nope.
they're easy to build. People are
Nope.
building scrapers thinking this is the latest technology. And it's doing
Yes.
things that we've never wanted to do because we never taught them to dethatch. And now we have weeds, 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 weeds. And there's
I
hundreds of them at millions of
hundreds of
different price
weeds.
points. You're going to get a weed for $5, $50,000. It's the same freaking product. And what's problem is marketers have gotten much better and we are getting just so much bullshit. It's absolutely astonishing.
It is
Please watch George
astonishing.
the Rock or else you're
Yes, you're a fool. And after you watch George, watch Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed because that's all that this
George,
is.
we expect you to share our show for every time we mention your show. We're not asking for a charge.
If
No
you've
sponsorship.
never
But
seen Veggie Tales, Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed, it's a must.
I
And it will
love
absolutely
Veggie
connect
Tales.
to
And
it.
if there's a
Yes.
documentary about the history of the Veggie Tales, very fascinating.
Fascinating.
Me and John are the pirates who don't do
Who
anything.
don't do anything. I'm excellent at it. We are the grapes of wrath who never take a bath.
I think if we if we could do that.
That would be
I love it
awesome.
when they read the menu, they read the Chinese food menu. Chicken. Let's do the mushu. Mushu, mushu, mushu.
My
If you
God.
don't, and I'm not even telling them. If you don't know what this is,
You have to. It is there. It's tremendous.
yeah,
I spoke with someone yesterday, lovely gentleman, lovely.
I'm sure.
I'm not going to say the tool or whatever, but performance management in consideration,
Okay.
what it's trying to address. And the question was how, after I listened and all, lovely, terrific, I get it. How is this different than
Oh,
so many other?
where is John's hairbrush? Oh, where is John's hairbrush?
Like how, and here we are again. Tech. Let me build this thing, ramp it up, unload it. That isn't the world that we're completely in. Now, if there's a really niche product that you figure out, that may be different. So I don't want you to think that I'm saying that. but you may need to look at your goals. And this is the problem that some entrepreneurs have. And Mark, thank you for your comment about like a monthly reframing. You could be an entrepreneur right now, and this is March of 2025, and you're realizing you're 24 months into the um, tool that you have put together and gone out to market with, and you've done the like mini booths at HR Tech or Unleash or whatever, just to try to get consumer feedback, potential consumer feedback, and all that. And you're 24 months in, and you're going, well, wait a minute. I had a 30-month plan for this to be picked up for 2 million with another 2 million share as long as I stay on for 2 years. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that. No, I don't know that you're going to be able to make that. So you've got to recalibrate.
Overnight. Somebody made that product you've been working on for the last year in a weekend.
Yeah.
And the other part is you have to be brave. It's okay if you haven't kept up in the way that you think that you should have. You're not behind, but it is your responsibility to speak up and say, hey, I haven't heard this before, so you don't get passed over, but also so you can share some of the knowledge. I don't feel like at first I had this woe is me, what are we supposed to do? It felt kind of different. The times are different, you know?
George,
you can't get it out in the next 6 months, you're done. You also have to know your limits. That's the problem with these 30-month plans. It means you don't know what you're doing because you can do it so much faster, so much better, so much cleaner with the right people. I mean, and it's going so fast that people things are dying out.
You have to talk to your team. If you are a part of a team,
goals, and let them set the schedule, the spring cleaning schedule with you. They'll tell you.
They'll tell you.
Are holding on to those mimeographs, and they're like, we don't need that.
And we don't need that. And we don't.
Okay.
And by the way,
personal.
It's not. When Jamie and we tease, right? When Jamie and I are having and Kevin, if we're having a tech product discussion, and one of them is like, oh, this idea we had, here's how we put it together, here's the initial framework, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Or they say, I found 4 tools that are already doing this. They're in development, they're in post-development. Here's where they are. So-and-so's doing this out of the UK. We've got this other thing happening here from South America. And I'm like, really? Like, yes, I cannot be the owner of all knowledge. I don't know what's happening in all these segments of the world, right? So I have to bring it up so I can find out. Use your time. Amen, Mark. Use your time wisely.
I will
say, here's my goals. How off am I with these goals?
And you can't be afraid of the CEO of making a mistake. You have to tell people what you're thinking because you're leading the direction, and you could be wrong because you can't be in all these places at the right time. And I will add to Mark and I say, time is one of the new currencies. The other one is clarity. Clarity is currency.
I'm supposed to give you snaps.
That's right. Clarity.
Well, and if you don't have time and clarity, then you are frustrated and frazzled. That's your day, everybody.
And
sounds great.
I have a magazine for you. You should go. There's 44 ways.
Just don't do the crossword puzzle in the back. Here's the problem with the crossword puzzle in the back.
Look, is your sixth sense real? That's my favorite article.
I mean, it is. I have a great sixth sense. The problem with the crossword puzzle in the back is they go to production so quickly. Your side of your hand will be black in 30 seconds. I don't understand. Why can't we dry the pages?
Why? In this day and age.
Look at that crossword puzzle, by the way.
Listen. Spring is here.
Spring is here, y'all. Listen, the fastest hour in show business. It
the
is
fastest
thing.
I just want to say I love spending this time with you and all of you.
So smart. So many of the folks that participate in the But First Coffee community are so smart.
And Nancy, it's Nancy's first time, and we need your brilliance here, Nancy.
We need your brilliance. And Nancy, you'll be the tour guide for our Rhode Island field trip.
Right. And if you think we should have a shirt that's called I Am LinkedIn User, it's the front of the shirt. Just put a one in the chat. I
Yeah,
think that we need that, right?
we do.
All of our shirts are going to say, I am LinkedIn user. And
I,
only
I
people who will
haven't said
know are
I
us.
haven't said this. You and I should say, have not said this in a little bit, but we know that there are quite a few folks who are seeking their next opportunity, whether being a part of a reduction in force or you needed to self-select out for some other reasons.
Yes,
Please, 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 even if you watch this later on, which we appreciate all of you watching later on,
that's right.
please in the chat, it's not too late. Give a link to your LinkedIn profile
That's
and
right.
let us know what it is you're
Reach out
looking
to the
for.
community. Please reach
Yes.
out to the community and also come to the reset room. We've been doing that. I was there. Nicole was there. Let us know you're looking for a new opportunity. Let's talk about how we can get through this together. Go dethatch your AI.
Go. Oh, George, that's a good T-shirt for Work Tech. And you're welcome, George.
No charge for that, except for
Who
please
said?
put my name
Who
and
said
John's
no
name on the
charge? You
bottom
got
with the QR code on how to find.
Jackie's Wi-Fi is shoddy in Waco. She said there will be a charge.
That's
That's not.
another.
That's what
Yeah,
she.
exactly. That's the second shirt. It's raining in Waco. No show today.
Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon. Click.
Bye.
Bye.